Good morning. This is Pam, Flower Patch Farmhouse, and this is the week of July 8th, 2018, and we are beside the greenhouse. Now my daisies and black-eyed Susies are all starting to bloom. They're my hot weather lovers. I've got larkspur there, the gaillardia down there, or blanket flower, and my zinnias are really doing well in that barrel, and so are the heavenly blue morning glories. I've got to get a trellis built to put up beside the greenhouse, and it'll crawl up here and bloom in pretty blue. Then along this wall here, retaining wall, I have more black-eyed Susies. I have the hollyhocks are blooming pretty, even though that rust has decimated their leaves. I have a rose I transplanted down there this spring, and it's doing well. I need to deadhead it. And we'll move on over to the vegetable patch. My basil is doing good. I've got a few green beans that have come up underneath the cage. I didn't cover the other seedlings, and it looks like the blue jays already got them. That's what I get for not covering them. My compost bin, I had opened it up. I need to add some of my chicken litter to it from the chicken house and chicken pen. My tomatoes are going crazy. Some little pumpkins I didn't get out of the ground and transplanted, so I thought I'd try to let them go ahead and grow, and I'll train them over here up to go up this wall. And mostly have tomatoes, a few green beans, sugar snap peas. I planted some more cucumbers, but I haven't seen them come up yet, so I may not get any in this lower bed. This is the back, or the secret garden, and I have liatris growing along here, and it's getting ready to bloom. Now I'm going to pull up these iris, and I'm going to put more boxwood here. I have two boxwood down here. One's right there and one's right there, and they are doing pretty good. I think I'm going to line this whole area with it and kind of give it a tidy border. The iris along there anyways try to lean for the sun, and they end up flopping over unless I stake them, so it's not a good spot for them. It gets too much shade in the early part of the spring before the sun moves high overhead. Now here is, foxgloves are done. I'm letting that particular one go to seed because I liked that it had a creamy throat and a nice salmon pink outside, and it's the only one that bloomed like that this year. So even though the seedlings may not come true to the parent, I'm still going to save them and try. So here's my Sweet Williams. My lavender is leaning for the sun and getting in the path, so I am going to go ahead and remember to dig it up this fall. And I really do wish you could smell on these videos, because my tree lily there, trumpet lily, is just smelling fantastic, and it makes it very enjoyable to come out, especially in the evening after a warm day. Here's more larkspur. Now I will keep deadheading this, and it will keep blooming. I know a lot of people just let it go to seed and then whack it out completely, but I don't. I just keep deadheading it, and it keeps blooming and blooming. So it blooms shorter. If I were to cut it down farther, it would bloom as a shorter flower, but I don't mind the height here in the back of the garden. I have a lavender one there and a pink one there. If you can see back here, my Monarda is getting ready to bloom. These poppies, I need to deadhead too. They will also continue blooming, which most people don't realize that. I learned that by mistake. So along the back fence, I have a climbing rose blooming. I have a great big thistle I need to take out. More larkspur that I am going to take out because there's things growing in there still, and I haven't got to it yet. I got this pathway pretty much cleared up. A few things I need to get out of here. I need to stake up that lily. It's getting knocked over there. Didn't notice that till just now. And my dianthus along the pathway are doing great. I have a sweet pea here that needs to be staked. And I finally got some of my dahlias out. These poor things were in a shallow tray where I had planted them this spring to get started, and I never did get back to them. So I've been trying to keep them moist. It's been pretty hot, so I need to keep them moist so that they survive the move. And this lily over here, let me go over there. This lily is so pretty. I wish it got taller. It should get taller and then hang down so you could see the freckled petals here. But I probably need to move it to a sunnier spot. I mean, this does get sun, but only like this time of year when the sun is directly overhead this time of year. Normally it's further behind the trees because it's lower in the sky. And those more larkspur that need to come out. And a little bird bath that I need to clean. It's just a plastic pot bottom. And that is a double Calibrachoa that I have overwintered 2 years now. I know they're usually sold as a annual, but I actually overwinter them in my greenhouse, and they just keep my pots looking pretty. Beside my studio, you see my hoses all over the place because I've been watering. Here's another not bird bath, but a fountain I need to set up. I need to get a outdoor grounded extension cord so I can plug it in my studio, and I can listen to it out here when I'm in there painting. I'm going up the side garden. Oh, let me turn around here. This is my pistachio clematis. It's another one that just keeps on blooming all summer if I keep it deadheaded. It's climbing up. This is monk's hood, which is a relative of delphiniums. And these iris are doing so well. I need to thin them out because they're choking out this rose here. And my Warsaw Nike clematis is still going strong. And my forest of larkspur, which I haven't had the heart to pull out because you just see if you can see, well, I think I scared them. Hummingbirds have been loving this, so I haven't taken it out. Let me go along down here. My pear tree, but you see my daisies are all going crazy, and the rose campion. And I have down there, you can see it down in the middle. That's my double black-eyed Susan. The only one I got this year so far. Now we're on the other side of the larkspur forest, as I call it. And you can see my daisies, and there's my English delphiniums. Black-eyed Susies, more daisies. This is when everything's kind of yellow and white. And they're going crazy. And I will deadhead along the way. They won't be quite as thick, but they will keep blooming. I love my crazy daisies. You see how they have all the ruffly, frilly petals. And then there's the more regular daisies. And here alongside the house is my Zephyrin drone rose. That is my Mariska, can't remember, the Wysotsky or something, clematis. It's a double. It's a pretty purple double. I don't think it's been getting enough water, so I need to make sure these get watered better. But they really are pretty and been doing well. I had to dig out a rose right here because it had a virus, and I was afraid I had disturbed the root too much, but it looks like it's doing okay if needing water. I moved some petunias into these barrels. They're actually still in pots, but I was trying them out here to see if I liked them, and I'll fill the barrel with extra soil and plant them in it. My trumpet vine is getting ready to bloom. You see the blooms there. On the front porch I have all these rose campion and a rose that needs deadheading. You can see up there how the daisies are taking over. Along here, my white rose, still blooming, needs to be deadheaded a little bit because I can see some of them are getting kind of dried out. Now this bed here, this is where I have my dahlias, and I'm thinking this fall I'm going to put grass seed in here. The spot up here needs a spot for the eye to rest, and I think a nice lawn on that section and then over in that section would really help to do that. I hadn't planted one in the past, which I may have mentioned before, because of the drought. But my husband has promised to put me a gray water system in, so I'd always have plenty of water, even if we went back to another drought situation. But my Eden rose, Pierre de Ronsard, is still blooming. And along there is all the Asiatic lilies. I need to get rid of the stalks from the iris and separate them. And my monarda up there, you can see a little bit of red. And my bee balm, that's starting to bloom. And that is basically my gardens on this second week of July.